Celestial circle. Oh, celestial circle. Oh.
Welcome to Divine Messengers, a sacred space where we explore the celestial guides, earthly emissaries, and spiritual forces that walk beside us. I'm your host, Renita, and in today's first episode, we're asking a foundational question. Who are the Divine Messengers? So take a deep breath with me, and let's begin. Divine messengers are the conduits between realms, those who carry wisdom, warnings, love, and light from the divine to us. They come in many forms, appearing when we most need guidance, reassurance, or a revelation of some kind. Some we recognize easily, others we sense only with the soul. Today, we're going to explore the many different types of divine messengers and how each plays a role in spiritual evolution. Let's start with perhaps the most well-known, angels. Angels are messengers of the divine in countless spiritual traditions: Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Zoroastrianism, and beyond. They're often seen as beings of pure light, compassion, and divine order. So let's say you're on your spiritual journey and suddenly you keep seeing repeating numbers, or you feel this peaceful presence around you when you're struggling. Chances are an angel is trying to connect with you. However, here's the thing, not all angels are the same. There's actually an entire hierarchy of angels, each with their own job and vibe. So let's walk through the different types, from ones closest to the source to the ones closest to us. Let's start with the seraphim, otherwise known as the burning ones. These are the angels closest to the divine. They like to hang out in the throne room of God. Their name literally means burning ones because they radiate divine light and passion. They're not really the angels you call on for help with daily stuff. Instead, they exist to worship and maintain the pure light of God. Think of them as celestial flames that keep the source energy alive. So you'll see them with like 6 wings, they're full of fire, and their main purpose is worship, divine presence, and this like purifying energy. Then we have the cherubim. They're guardians of knowledge in sacred places. So they're not the chubby little baby angels you see in paintings. Real cherubim are mighty, otherworldly beings who guard divine mysteries in sacred spaces. They're described with multiple faces like human, lion, ox, and eagle, and they have these huge interlocking wings. It gives like cosmic guardian vibes. So they're multi-faced, winged beings, and their main purpose is to protect wisdom, sacred places, and divine secrets. Third, we have the thrones, which are divine carriers of justice and balance. Thrones are said to be the literal chariots of God's will. They carry out divine justice and help maintain cosmic balance. They often appear as giant glowing wheels covered in eyes. Pretty intense, right? But their energy is all about fairness, divine order, and higher perspective. So they are fiery wheels within wheels covered in eyes. I'm certain you may have seen videos on TikTok about them. And their main purpose is divine judgment, balance, and spiritual justice. Or we have dominions, the heavenly managers. So we're moving down the hierarchy closer to our realm. Dominions are like the angelic middle management. They take divine instructions from the higher choirs and help distribute them to the lower ranking angels. They're the ones helping to orchestrate divine plans behind the scenes, guiding nations, leaders, or even movements of collective healing. So you'll see them as scepters or glowing orbs, and their main purpose is coordination of angelic duties, divine order, and leadership support. Fifth, we have the virtues, bringers of miracles and cosmic energy. These are the miracle workers of the angelic world. Virtues are known for channeling healing energy, inspiration, and blessings into our world. If you've ever had a divine intervention moment, something that just shouldn't have happened but did, a virtue may have been involved. They are these light, shimmering beings, and their main purpose is miracles, energy work, and spiritual empowerment. Sixth, we have the powers, and they are the spiritual warriors. Powers are the spiritual defenders. They fight off dark forces, help protect the cosmos from imbalance, and keep demonic energies in check. They also help individuals with spiritual warfare or deep protection during intense growth periods. They're these armored beings with swords and shields, and their main purpose is protection, spiritual warfare, and defense against evil. Seventh, we have the principalities. They're the guardians of groups and institutions. The principalities, they watch over nations, cities, communities, and spiritual organizations. They're the angels influencing collective consciousness, and they help us to evolve together. They might help guide a movement, protect a spiritual group, or gently shift a community toward healing. You'll see them with crowns and scepters, and their main purpose is oversight of large groups, spiritual evolution of societies even. Eighth, we have ones that you may be most familiar with, the archangels, and they are the messengers of power. So now we get a little personal. As I said, the archangels are the most well-known angels, and they work more directly with humans. They're divine messengers and leaders of other angels. Some of the most well-known angels include Michael, the protector, Raphael, the healer, Gabriel, the communicator, the messenger, and Uriel, the illuminator, the wisdom bringer. These are the ones people pray to, meditate with, or invoke for healing guidance and transformation. Their purpose is protection, healing, communication, and divine intervention. Ninth, we have guardian angels, your personal companions. Last but never least. And every soul is said to have at least one guardian angel. These beings are assigned to you specifically to walk with you from birth to death and even beyond. They know you intimately. They hold space for you, whisper encouragement, and guide you through signs, dreams, and they give you these little intuitive nudges. Your guardian angel is your divine ride or die, and their whole purpose is to give you personal protection, comfort, guidance, and soul support. So whether it's a powerful archangel like Michael stepping in to protect you, or your personal guardian angel sending signs through feathers and numbers, angels are always near. And they each have a different purpose, but they're all connected through the same intention, to bring us closer to the divine. Next, we have our spirit guides. These can be ancestral, elemental, animal, even former humans who have chosen to assist us from the spirit realm. Some are with us our entire lives, while others come and go, depending on what we're learning or healing from. Have you ever felt an unseen hand, like nudging you down a different path, or you've dreamed of the same wise presence, like over and over again? That just might have been a spirit guide. So I'm going to go through a couple of the different types of spirit guides. So you have your ancestral guides. They're the ones who came before you. These guides are often members of your family line, whether through blood or spiritual lineage. They've passed on from this world, but they're deeply connected to you, and they care so much about your healing. Sometimes they're people you knew, like a grandparent. Other times they're generations back, names you've never heard of, but they know you deeply. And they're here to help you break old patterns in your family line, reclaim your roots and your identity, heal generational wounds, generational curses, not just for yourself, but for those who came before and will come after you. You may feel their presence when you smell something familiar, like your great aunt's perfume, or when you're suddenly drawn to old family photos or a tradition. They show up to remind you you're never disconnected from your past. Then we have animal guides. Have you ever felt deeply connected to a certain animal, like somehow they were a part of you? Or maybe a certain animal keeps crossing your path, showing up in dreams, or catching your attention in the strangest ways. I promise you it's no coincidence. That is a spirit animal, a power animal, or what I like to call a wild guide. Now, these animals can come to you in a few different ways. You have your lifelong animal guides, and these are the animals that are with you from birth, kind of like a soul twin in animal form. They reflect your personality, your strengths, and even your challenges. You might not even realize they've been guiding you all along. Like, sort of that thought, I've loved owls since I was a kid. I don't know why, I just feel seen by them. Maybe that's a clue. And then sometimes animals show up just when you need their medicine. A butterfly might start appearing when you're going through a transformation, or a bear may show up when you need rest and boundary work. They come in, deliver their message, and move on when the lesson has been integrated into your life. It's like they're saying, here's the energy you need right now, so I'm going to stay as long as you need me, and then I'm going to go. And finally, we have dream vision animal guides. And these are animals that show up in your dreams or meditations, often with a sense of clarity or purpose. If you wake up from a dream with a lion looking straight into your eyes, yeah, that wasn't random. Animal guides help us reconnect to natural instinct, to presence, and to the sacred wildness within us. They remind us that being human doesn't mean being separate from nature. It means being a part of the pack. Then we move on to nature guides, like Earth's little whisperers. These are spirits of trees, rivers, mountains, flowers, storms, and even the elements themselves. You don't have to believe in fairies or folklore to feel them. You just go sit under a tree long enough and you'll start to feel a presence. That gentle grounding, that breath of peace, that's a tree spirit offering its support. Each element, earth, air, fire, water, and spirit, has its own guardians or energies. These may show up to help you work through specific emotions or phases in life. So, earth spirits ground and stabilize you. Water spirits help you to process emotions. Air spirits open the mind and bring clarity. Fire spirits ignite passion, will, and transformation. And spirit, like aether, connects you to the divine. You might feel called to work with a certain element when you're feeling out of balance. If you're overwhelmed and need grounding, the earth spirits might call you to spend time barefoot in the grass or bury your worries under a stone. And even plants can act as messengers. You might feel drawn to rosemary when you need protection or clarity, or maybe you're being drawn to lavender when you're healing from grief. Flowers and herbs carry memory and vibration of ancient knowledge, so when we work with them intentionally, it's like having a quiet conversation with an old friend. Have you ever stood on the edge of the ocean or in the middle of the woods near your home and just felt something watching over you? Not in a creepy way, but comforting. Sometimes nature guides aren't individual beings, they're places. A mountain can become your protector, a stream can become your confidant. You feel it in your body, a peace, a stillness, or a message that rises up from the earth and into your spirit. Then we have dreams and intuition as messengers. Dreams are the nighttime oracle. It's one of the oldest and most mystical forms of divine communication. Long before tarot cards or spirit boards, people were receiving visions in their sleep. In the dream world, your conscious mind gets out of the way, and that allows the spirit to speak clearly. There are different types of spiritual dreams. You have message dreams, and they're the type of dreams that feel very clear. Maybe a loved one visits, or a guide speaks to you, or a symbol keeps appearing, and you wake up knowing specifically that it meant something. And then there are prophetic dreams, and these are the types of dreams that offer glimpses of the future or clues to something unfolding in your waking life. Then there are those symbolic dreams, and think of this like dream charades. Your guides use imagery, metaphor, and feeling to get a point across in a way that you'll best understand. sort of like dreaming of a locked door when you're avoiding a decision. Then you have healing dreams. These are the type of dreams that bring closure, peace, or clarity. Sometimes they help you to process grief or trauma in a very deeply spiritual way. Now let's talk about intuition. Your inner compass, your gut feeling, that divine GPS. This is the messenger that lives inside of you 24/7. It doesn't shout, it doesn't panic, it just knows. And I know you've felt it, that nudge that says, don't go there, don't reach out to that person, don't text your ex, something's not right. That little, I like to call it the spidey sense. That inner divine guidance system that just somehow lights the way. And intuition speaks like a quiet knowing, a physical sensation like goosebumps or tightness in your chest. That little mental ping that just kind of pops out of nowhere. Or sometimes it's even a repeated sign or synchronicity throughout your day. But the more you trust it, the louder and clearer it becomes. And here's the beautiful truth. Your intuition is the language your soul uses to speak to you. Next, we have those people that just show up with purpose. Just everyday people showing up as messengers in your life. Have you ever met someone who said exactly what you needed to hear at exactly the right time? Maybe a stranger gave you unexpected advice, or a friend mentioned something offhand that turned out to be life-changing. It's not just a coincidence, that's divine orchestration. The universe, it often sends us messages through people because that's what we can relate to the best. It's the language we understand. Sometimes the divine doesn't need to send an angel with wings, but instead just a person with the right words. So let's go a little deeper for a second. Many believe before we're born, we form what's called a soul contract. So it's like an agreement with another soul that we will meet each other in this life for some specific reason. Some people are here to teach us love. Some are there to challenge us, and some are here to awaken something within us that we didn't know existed. Not all messengers stay forever, and some are here for a moment or a season or a chapter, but their impact is still unforgettable. That's why even difficult people, yes, even the ones that hurt us the most or that we've hurt the most, can be messengers too. They hold up mirrors, reveal wounds, and trigger transformations that lead us to healing and growth. So it could be the random stranger that says something oddly specific, or the catalyst, the person that comes into your life and shakes everything up and inspire you to change direction. Or the mirror. These are often found in like romantic relationships and close friends. These are the people that reflect back your light and your shadows, and through them, you learn who you really are. Then you have the teacher. Now, this could be a literal teacher, mentor, or it could just be someone who models a truth you needed. They help you see what's possible, or they open a door you didn't even know existed. You also have your soul family. And these are the ones that feel familiar, like you've known them forever, because maybe you have, and they offer this sweet comfort and a very deep emotional connection pretty quickly. So I think that's all I've got on spirit guides and messengers. If there's anything out there specifically that you'd like me to discuss or dive deeper into, specifically from today's episode, please let me know. Leave a comment below, and I'd be happy to maybe make a little extra bonus episode, because I know there are so many different types of guides, and there are several things that I personally don't believe in that I didn't take the time to dive into this episode. But if there's anything specific that you'd like me to talk about, again, just leave a comment and I'd be happy to give some insight. But I'd like to say thank you for joining me today on Divine Messengers. In our next episode, we're going to be diving into how to communicate with these messengers and how to sense their presence and begin receiving their messages in our daily lives. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with someone who's seeking. And remember, the divine is always speaking to us. The question is, are we listening? Until next time, may your path be lit with whispers of grace and wings of wonder. Blessed be, my friends.